These are all the taunts in Town of Salem. One of them is incredibly useful when communicating with allies and can make or break the game if used correctly. The others are purely for aesthetics and serve no purpose in delivering information. Which one is the special one and why? I'll give you some time to think about it and we'll come back to this later. Back in the olden days of broken retributionist and awful disguiser, or as some people call it, before 2020, taunt served one purpose in the game, to signal who Medusa was. As soon as somebody died to a Medusa, they'd pull up their taunt menu and select who they visited so that town would know who had killed them. As soon as the day started, one player would be taunted and voted up shortly after. And while Medusa or other cover members could taunt a different player to throw town off, it just wasn't viable in the long run. Taunts were and are expensive, so having the funds to taunt multiple players in multiple games just wasn't worth it. As a result, the community was rightfully upset with how the meta was unfairly punishing Coven by doing their job and getting kills, and BMG removed the ability for dead players' taunts to be seen by living ones in version 3.2.4 in July of 2020, with it also removing the vast majority of the community's incentive to use taunts altogether. But that really shouldn't be the case. Let's go back to that initial question I asked. If you chose the Rest in Peace taunt, you're correct, and it's because this is the only taunt in the game that can be used at night, which may not sound like much at first, but you'll see what I'm talking about when we put it to some creative uses. The first thing to note is that information given by the game comes at two different times. At the beginning of the night, when we're jailed, pirated, seanced, etc., or at the end of the night, when we're robloxed, killed, saved, or many more. If something happens at the beginning of the night, we have time to react and talk to other players before the night ends. But if it happens at the end, we have no time to communicate that information before the day comes. If you're a VIP mode player, you probably know this pretty well. It's very common there for a Coven member to get pirated, communicate that they are in night chat, and then get healed by the Potion Master. In this example, the information the game gave us at the beginning of the night affected our teammates' actions and gave us an advantage in surviving because we were able to communicate it to them. That's the core of what we're going to do with our night taunts here. The first and best use, in my opinion, is for communicating with the witch as Mafia. Let's say we're playing a ranked game and we've already found the witch. At the beginning of the night, we can see if one of our Mafia members or we ourselves have been jailed, and we only need the witch to control the jailer if one of us is. So, what if before the day ends, we tell the witch that we're going to taunt the jailer if a Mafia member is jailed, and they should only control them if they see that taunt? That way, we're at no risk of getting executed, and the witch can use the nights they would have normally been spam controlling the jailer if we had whispered them something like, always control the jailer, doing more helpful things, like using town killings to get extra kills that night, looking for the neutral killing, or preventing town investigators from finding evils by controlling them. Or what if we have a guardian angel and Coven Alani? They can save us too. We just have to whisper them basically the same thing we told the witch. If I'm jailed or pirated, I'll taunt you, so they can watch over us and ensure our safety. This can be helpful for townies too. There are multiple situations where a medium needs to get vital information from a dead player and will be at high risk of dying that night. And while yes, they can save it to their last will, there's a handful of roles that can eliminate their will altogether, meaning they'd have to wait an additional night to seance. Let's say a player died to an ambusher and we're a medium going into the night. Mafia won't want that information getting out and could clean us, so we could tell the jailer, hey, I'm gonna taunt the ambusher tonight, so even if I'm cleaned, you know who they are. These are just a handful of examples, and there's definitely more, but a question I'm sure a lot of you are probably wondering is this metagaming? Is this against the rules? And in terms of metagaming, an argument could probably be made. I'd consider it metagaming in the same way asking for info from a player's role card is. Is it using mechanics in an unexpected way? Yes, but everything we're using is contained within the game itself, so I don't consider it to be a bad thing. As for, is this against the rules? No, it straight up isn't. I couldn't find anything anywhere about anybody ever getting a guilty report for anything remotely like this, but just to be sure, and because I didn't want to release a video saying, hey, go do this, if it ended up getting some viewers in trouble, I reached out to Flavorable, one of the global moderators of the trial system, the system that enforces the Town of Salem rules, and she confirmed that no, it's not against the rules. So there you have it, your new strategy for communicating without night chat. Go out and buy some Rest in Peace taunts and be wary of blackmailers who might be reading your plans in whispers. So, just a quick update before I go. I'm going to be gone for a little while because I'm having surgery in a couple days. I don't have an upload schedule, but still, don't be waiting around for me because I'm not coming. I wish I could give you an estimate of how long I'll be out for, but it all honestly depends on how I'm feeling and how quickly I can catch up on my schoolwork because I'll be missing quite a few classes. And as much as I love YouTube, I only work on it once I've finished everything else I need to that day. It all just depends. Long story short, I was born with a genetic disorder called spondylometaphyseal dysplasia, which I know doesn't mean anything to anybody watching, but all you need to know is that it really messes with my bones. I've always had limited motion in my arms, but my right arm has been getting worse and worse this year, and it's gotten to the point where it's locked at a 90-degree angle, and I'm in a lot of pain if I try to move it. And I'm right handed, so that's a problem. Like when I typed the script up for this video, I did it exclusively with my left hand. Like try doing that. Try typing with one hand on a computer. It's not fun. Anyway, I've been waiting and hoping that it was just another temporary problem, but things aren't going to go back to normal, and I'm not really going to be able to function without surgery. I tried to avoid it, but I can't. I'll be okay though. Don't worry about me or anything. It's a very routine thing. I'll be fine, just gone and recovering for a little bit. So I'll see you when I see you guys.